Bonjour à tous. I'm going to lay some low-level linguistics on you if that's okay. This week it was International Women's Day and Mothering Sunday, which got me thinking a little bit about gender. But this isn't the kind of amazing ethics blog that's going to get me any kind of level of respect. So instead of talking about current issues of inequality and stuff, I'm going to talk about words because that is easier to talk about. In English we don't have gender integrated into our syntax, so you can say him, her, his, hers, etc. but you don't assign gender randomly to inanimate objects like a lot of other languages do. But it seems to me like this was just the easiest way to assign differences to a kind of binary or tripartite system. We could call them black and white or black, white and grey. We could call them up and down or up, down and middle if you really wanted to. It kind of does the same thing. A mistake that a lot of people make when learning a language of grammatical gender is to think that things which they perceive to be masculine have a masculine grammatical gender, when often this simply isn't the case, which was what makes it so annoying and difficult to learn. Even if you know one language which has this nice little grammatical quirk, it's usually the case that something that's masculine in Italian won't be masculine in Spanish or French or German, which is really annoying. So let's look at some examples. I think one of the clearest ways of showing this is that often body parts have nothing to do with gender, really. So according to my dictionary, this is my reference, my dictionary says that when you're talking about a breast of a person, so like either a man or a woman, has la poitrine, which is feminine, la poitrine, voilà. When it is just the breast of a woman, it's le sein, masculine. Similarly, le vagin, that's masculine, apparently. On a man, you can have la barbe, which I've always found a bit weird. Because I'm dedicated to this blog, I looked these up. La sémence, semen, feminine, whereas sperm and egg are both masculine. I'm thinking that just a lot of body parts are simply masculine. A thing I found kind of interesting was that la vasectomie, a vasectomy is feminine, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with a woman. Un avortement, an abortion, is masculine, whereas it has absolutely nothing to do with a man. The grammatical gender of avortement actually has more to do with the word's ending than it does its semantics, its meaning in the world. So a synonym for avortement, abortion, is une interruption de grossesse, so like an interruption of pregnancy. The end of a word actually has more of an effect on its masculinity or femininity in grammar than its masculinity or femininity in the world. For example, words ending in age, mon or isme are pretty regularly masculine, whereas those ending in tion, ur, ons and te are usually feminine. Of course, don't take this just for granted, there are going to be lots and lots of exceptions, but it does go to explain why avortement and interruption mean the same thing but have completely different gender. One of the big ones in this list of endings was ons. This is quite a regular one if my French teacher is to be believed. It applies also to ens, which is, you can see how they're very, very similar, which of course applies to la France, because countries are nouns and therefore need gender as well. This of course has nothing to do with the sexual gender of the country in question. If it did, it would mean that everyone in the Six Nations, England, Ireland, Scotland, France and Italy, would be women apart from the Welsh team. It would also mean that no one in Saudi Arabia could leave the house or drive. So what have we learnt today? Apart from a bit of quite dry grammar, for which I apologise, we have learnt that though something may be technically masculine, it may well have stronger semantic links to something feminine than you may expect, and you shouldn't judge any noun before you really get to know it. So that's it from me. I hope you're having a marvellous week. Treat each other with respect, and santé. This is empty.